Thirsty Thursday. Let's get into it. I want to uncover my new altcoin season module, right, with the PowerPoint. So if you like these type of PowerPoint videos when you get top-notch alpha, I'm gonna need everybody to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. When do you truly believe altcoin season will start? We're going to be talking about that in today's video, because I know a lot of people that watch my channel, they don't necessarily hold Bitcoin. And what happens is a lot of people get it confused. They think when Bitcoin pumps, altcoins are supposed to pump as well, right? But it just doesn't work like that. We're actually starting to see ETH move. ETH is alive now. ETH is alive, right? So we went through the Bitcoin moving, right? Bitcoin set its all-time high, right? And then what happens is ETH starts to move, right? And then we start to see the altcoins move. But that doesn't happen like 1 week, 2 week, 3 week after. It just doesn't work like that. It's months lagging. And we're going to talk about how it exactly works. And I'm also going to give you guys exit strategy, right? Of when I plan on exiting the market. So first and foremost, I do want to pull up my logarithmic bands here. So let's go pull that up there, because we know that retail is starting to slowly get interested in crypto. Is retail money in crypto? Not yet, but the interest is starting to change. This is the 30 days. So we want to make sure any new person that does get into Bitcoin, and crypto, you have a good idea of how the altcoin season works, because right now the fair greed index is 77. So you don't want to play around in this market trying to chase green candles. And that's another thing. Like, we got to stop complaining about everything in crypto. Like, every time I look, somebody complaining about something. Like, bro, if you at this point, if you've been in crypto 6-7 months to a year and you ain't making no money, then at some point you got to realize it's something you're doing wrong, right? And I see it too many times. Like, people don't know how to take profits. They round tripping their bags. They complaining about this. They complaining about that. And I personally just don't see it in crypto, right? I don't see, like, everybody goes through like losses, right? I want to make that clear. Like, I go through losses, but I'm not sitting here like taking L after L after L and then complaining about it, because you gotta look at how you've set up your portfolio, right? If you sitting here talking about I got 60% of my portfolio in meme coins, well, then you gonna get everything that you got coming for you. And you know what I'm saying? I've talked about this before. Like, you have to have your portfolio built in pillars. It's kind of like making a team in the NBA, right? You got your two superstars, you got your role players, you got your point guard, you got everybody that kind of like understands their role. You know what I mean? You're not going to have you're not going to have 10 rookies on your team. That's what meme coins are. They're rookies, because you don't know what you're going to get out of a meme coin. You're assuming, because everything that happens in the market, it looks like it's all good, and the green grass is greener on the other side, but it just doesn't work like that, right? So if you got 10 rookies on your team, yeah, it's going to be volatile. You might get a lot of potential out those rookies, but there's going to be a lot of bad days and bad games, because rookies just don't have any experience. It's the same thing with meme coins that are just launched, right? I'm not talking about OG meme coins. OG meme coins have stood the test of time, and that's what Murad was saying inside his thesis. But we're getting a little bit closer to altcoin season, so right now we need to figure out when the true altcoin season starts, right? First and foremost, I want to go into what can lead us into an altcoin season, right? And in a few months, you're going to see, right, leading up to Trump's inauguration, you're going to see this strategic, right, plan here for Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, right? And this is the key point, right? Purchase not more than 200,000 Bitcoins per year over a 5-year period for a total acquisition of 1 million Bitcoin. So Senator, what's her name? Was it Loomis? Yeah, Senator Loomis and Trump. They came up with this this Bitcoin strategic plan, right? And it's a 20-year plan, right? So let's put this into perspective for anybody that's new into crypto, because I understand that y'all new, you got to really break it down, right? So imagine if the US government started buying 550 Bitcoin every day, like a steady drumbeat of demand in the market with a fixed supply. Picture it like a gold rush, except there's only a limited amount of gold, 21 million Bitcoin ever. So that's only amount of Bitcoin there is. And the government is grabbing as much as they can, promising not to sell it for the next 20 years, just like any rare collectible or property in a popular area, right? Gold, real estate. There's similarities here. When demand keeps rising, but there's only so much to go around, the value of each unit usually skyrockets. This could lead to a massive price increase for Bitcoin, creating a ripple effect that raises awareness and interest in other cryptocurrencies. And this is why people are saying that this is a potential super cycle, right? Because if something like this happens, right, where they're consistently, right, causing the price of Bitcoin to appreciate, right, causing risk assets to appreciate, creating this domino effect where every institution and every country and every millionaire are racing to stack as much Bitcoin as possible, but there are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist, right? This is going to cause a crazy supply crunch, right? And crazy appreciation over time. And this is what we're looking at. So I don't think people understand, first and foremost, how big this is. The US will buy 550 Bitcoin a day for 5 years, right? And we know that they print money. So this is not something that's not attainable, right? An infinite balance sheet pouring into absolutely immutable scarcity. I can't make this up. So again, I'm expecting BTC to string along strong altcoins with it. Keyword strong altcoins, right? Meme coins with cultures, right? And you can see here that the logarithmic chart is starting to show some signs, right? And I told you guys, I'm waiting for BTC to hit the bubble lower bands or the bubble upper, somewhere between the bubble lower bands and upper bands, as it has every freaking cycle. And that's when we'll start to take profits. Now, I created a PowerPoint that explains exactly when that will happen. So actually, let me pull that up real quick. So be right back, because I thought I had it pulled up, but we're gonna pull it up. Bear with me. All right, predicting the next altcoin season. All right, so and not to add, we do got the FOMC meeting where there's a 97% chance of a 0.25 federal rate hike, and hey, they about a 3% chance of a 0.5, right? Who thinks this is going to be a 0.5? Maybe nobody, right? But we got a 97% chance of 0.25, right? So again, before I get into this PowerPoint for altcoins, bro, I need the whiners, the complainers, the laggers, the people that don't understand how to take profits, right? And to get it through their head, right? When you make a decision, that is on you. This is not financial advice, all right? I don't know nothing. I'm just a crypto enthusiast talking about crypto, right? But again, it's just frustrating because people will get up 10x, 20x, and it's like, take your profits. What are you waiting for? This market is totally different than 2018, bro. The people not sitting here holding and having patience, bro. These are straight Zoomer degens, right? That's moving from one thing to the next. So if you can't keep up with the trends and the narratives, you need to buy something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. You need to buy shit that's in the top 10 or the top 50. You don't need to be trying to pumps because you got a regular job. I'm just keeping it real with you. Ain't no other YouTuber ain't finna do that. I'm keeping it real with you. If you got a regular job and you ain't got no time to be on your computer, your phone all day and paying attention to this, stay away from new launches. Stay away from new launches. Please do me a favor. Do yourself a favor and stay away from new launches. Buy things that have already created structure, that already have information over time, because you can sleep at night and you can know, just like the stock market, it's going to appreciate over time. Stop chasing green candles and making excuses when you lose in crypto. That's it. All right. So let's get into the PowerPoint. I had to get that out. First and foremost, we predicting the next altcoin season. I'm gonna go over a few things that I'll be using to actually predict this, right? So we just talked about the current macro environment under Trump's pro-Bitcoin presentation. This presentation aims to predict the timing of the next altcoin season, right? Historical BTC and ETH performance using Bitcoin and ETH logarithmic charts to identify historical peaks and profits. What we just talked about, the ETH and Bitcoin stagnant performance. Now, this is huge, right? Because this is the one thing that can throw a wrench into our game, right? It's because we need ETH and BTC pair to show some type of life, right? This is like, you know, the altcoins. You can use any type of altcoin with a BTC pair, and usually if the altcoins are dumping or showing lack of strength, it's usually down from there, right? The flip side of this is that we got a new king in town, which is Solana, right? So a lot of people are not basing their thesis off Ethereum anymore. They're basing it off Solana because Solana in this cycle has been proven to be the layer one that's most utilized, right? Low fees, high speeds, and retail loves Solana. So I would say, and there's a world where you can kind of like throw this ETH BTC chart out the window, right? ETH has an ETF right now. It's the trade right now, right? Because Bitcoin pumped, Solana pumped, but Solana doesn't have an ETF. ETH does, right? So as a lot of people are starting to give up on ETF, the ETH, right? The ETFs are going to start to pump. I don't even know why there's, you know, big YouTubers out here, sell your ETH and all this, like give ETH an opportunity to let the ETF set in, right? When everybody makes their profits of BTC, ETH will be easily attainable because it has ETF, so boomer money can pretty much have a way to purchase ETH without having to download a crypto wallet. So I don't think ETH is dead, right? I just think that ETH is quiet right now and is waiting for its time. But if you want to just use a SOL BTC chart, you can see there's a lot of strength there, right? As I said, as I just stated, Solana's acting as Ethereum's replacement. Total 3 excluding BTC market cap analysis. Now, let's get into this chart, right? Because this chart is eerily similar to what we seen in 2020, right? Only thing I did was copy what we seen from 2020 here. Now, look at this. Look how this just goes perfectly off the trend line, right? Nice, good trend line here, perfectly. And this is just this pattern here, right? So this is an example of what can happen on the total 3. Now, you're probably asking, well, Millie, how did you get this? And how did you get the time frame? The only thing I simply did was I went to the Bitcoin dominance and checked out the Gaussian channel, and it kind of like measured how long the Gaussian channel actually stays green. The Bitcoin dominance is inverted to to altcoins, right? When the Bitcoin dominance goes down, altcoins go parabolic, right? And the Bitcoin dominance Gaussian channel stayed green for approximately 623 days. We're rolling up on 623 days, which would be somewhere around January 6th, right? December. So I've said this before that I thought that the altcoin season, the Q4, the explosion in crypto would be Q4, right? We have to kind of like move it back a little bit, you know, and post date it back a little bit because like Bitcoin went sideways for so long. You can see Bitcoin went sideways for so long, and now it's starting to retest those highs again, right? But it went sideways for a little bit longer than what it did in previous cycles. So it's not too much of a difference, but now you'll see a lot of experts say, well, altcoin season is going to start somewhere between Q1 and Q2 of 2025, which is not bad because all the people that's making all these mistakes now, you still have an opportunity because we haven't seen all of this on the total 3 here, right? Not to add, if you go to the others chart rides the trend line perfectly. Just copy it and paste in the previous pattern, and you can see here everything, it lines up perfectly, right? So this is the others chart. This is the shitty of the shitty. The micro caps are, or low caps are small cap coins here, and our module here is predicting a huge explosion in Q1, in somewhere between Q1 and Q2 2025, right? The other dominance also, right, is looking to shake out through accumulation, through capitulation and pump, right? So once we see, you know, which is eerily similar, we're seeing the same pattern here kind of play out perfectly, right? So We'll just have to see here on the weekly chart if we can get this altcoin dominance to turn back green on a Gaussian, because that's the outlier here, is that it never turned red, right? But here it's turning red, and altcoins are getting crushed against the Bitcoin liquidity. And the reason I think that this is happening is because we have so many altcoins. This is why it's important. If you're going to buy meme coins, buy into cultures and communities. And if you're going to buy altcoins, buy into strength, buy into the ones that have shown strength. Don't get wrapped up into the love of the technology or the love of this. Buy into the strength, because it's too many coins, it's too many meme coins, it's too much dilution in today's market. There will be winners, but every token cannot win. And that's just the realism, the realistic point of view here that a lot of people just tend to ignore, right? So when a person tells me, oh, I got 60% of my portfolio in meme coins, oh, I'm not surprised if you get wrecked. I'm not surprised if you get wrecked. And for the people that's in the Patreon who kind of see me like, steer away from like dropping all of these posts and all of these tokens, is because I have my portfolio set. I can't sit here and act like I'm buying new tokens or anything. I already have a nice little portion of my network in crypto. So I've stated this before. I am not a buyer in this market. I am chilling and letting my gains. Now, do I do some trading with meme coins here and there? Yeah. And if you're part of the J5 Council, if you're part of the Patreon, I'll, share some things here. Am I pressed on a lot of people joining the Patreon or expecting, having these high expectations? No, because I want to make it clear that I've been buying cryptocurrency since here, right? All of this, all the way down to June 2022. So I've been here and I've been loading up, right? And I've took profits in each phase, right? And I've doubled down on some of my conviction plays, and I have the same conviction plays that I had 6-7 months ago. In fact, on the Patreon, I just let everybody know the plays that I'm holding in altcoins from AI, gaming, and meme coins. I really don't care about any other narrative. Even RWA and DPIN, they've slowed down. They're not volatile enough, right? I think in the next cycle, we'll get a little bit more from RWA, DPIN, or maybe BlackRock comes out and says, oh, we're back, RWA, DPIN. But until then, I think that the top narratives are AI, meme coins, gaming, and layer ones with strength. Sui, Solana, the top casinos, right? Aptos, ETH, you know what I mean? And any sleepers that you might believe in, right? But those are the ones that are showing the most strength. Maybe AVAX, because gaming comes back around, right? So hopefully that's not too much for you guys. But this is here, the prediction model is that somewhere between December and January 2025, January 2025 and February 2025, we really start to see that altcoin season start. So let's head back to the PowerPoint here, right? Because we just went over that. I went over the Bitcoin dominance. So, that's always a good thing you want to do, is analyze the Bitcoin dominance. We're waiting for it to capitulate. This shift often marks the beginning of a true altcoin season. Now, this is the timeline. I want to go specifically over the timeline. So based on historical data, sentiment, and the charts that I just provided, based on the module and everything we put together, the start of altcoin season is projected for Q2 2025. Now, you remember in the video that I made yesterday that the media is predicted for Bitcoin to run to 100K right up to the Trump inauguration, which is January 20th, 2025. There will be altcoins that pop off in that little section, right? But I think the majority of the real altcoin season will start after that BTC stops out, maybe a month or 2 months after, right? So you got to be kind of rational about this, right? Post Bitcoin rally and capital rotation into altcoins after Bitcoin stabilizes. Trump's Bitcoin stance and recent ETF approvals create a strong setup for Bitcoin rally, potentially peaking in early 2025, followed by a rotation to altcoins. So think about this, right? If Trump comes out and people start to front run that he's going to speak on this right here, right? The Bitcoin strategic reserve plan, right? The market will start to front run that, because they're going to assume Trump is going to speak about this on his inauguration date. So it's not a surprise if Bitcoin does go 25,000, 15 to 25,000 up from here. It's important to note that my boy Crypto University said, based on the 5.3 theory, that Bitcoin should top out at 80K. And I put that in my last major PowerPoint video that Bitcoin could reach 80K by the end of the year, right? Will it reach 100K? Normally, the market front runs information put out by the media because everybody is going to say, oh, Bitcoin's going to run to 100K by 2025 and expect that. And people take profits at 80K or 90K. Right. So you never want to just go with the masses. Right. And according to the 5.3 theory, BTC should top out around 80K due to diminishing gains. Right. All right. So let's get back into altcoin season. Peak of altcoin season projected Q4 2025. So the range here, right, is that altcoins blow up right around here, right, January, and we go parabolic all the way to maybe Q4 2025, right? Q4 2025 after the top maybe in April, right? This is the part where people get wrong, because you're going to have to ask yourself this question, right? When we explode, do you take profits at the first top, or you wait for the correction and then you take profits here at the double top? That's the decision that you're going to make, because I've personally been buying crypto all the way here, all the way down here. I am going to start taking profits at the first top, right? And then I'll probably do some swing trading here and take advantage of the second top, right? And the same thing could be said for Bitcoin holders, right? You got to ask yourself, right? When Bitcoin hits anywhere between 100,000, and our model says 100,000 and 100 and what, 16,000 here, right? And we go for the correction. Well, where will the structure be built? Because now we're in price discovery. Now we're in unknown territory. Where will the structure be built? How long, how much will we come back, down to, right? We don't know here. Actually, let's get that back. We don't actually know, right? You can see here, Bitcoin topped out at what, 64, came all the way back down to 29,000. So there's a good chance that we see a 50% dip, right? A 50% dip from 100K. So coming all the way back down here, right? What's this? What's it? We saying 120,000. So yeah, all right, back down here to structure, which would be around 70,000, right? So let's move this here, right, and go up here, right? Right. So you got to ask yourself, right, once Bitcoin does cross 100K, or if it crosses 100K, are you taking profits here, right? This dip here would probably coincide with the Bitcoin dominance going down, right? So this could be a liquidity rotation here, right? And actually, I want to move this here, because I don't want to predict too much longer, right? Too much, I want to keep my prediction pretty much precise here. So again, do we drop down 50% from 60 from 120,000 and maybe come back and retest structure that is built at the all-time high now, which is 74? Do you sell up here? Well, when this dip happens, more likely it will be a liquidity rotation into altcoins, which coincides with our altcoin season top here, which is around Q4 2025. So when Bitcoin goes for that massive correction after reaching all-time highs, we could see the dominance go down, and then the next top here for altcoin season. Right now, like I said, all of this is subjective, but we're just going off the history of the last cycle, because we really don't have as much information here. And again, you want to take into consideration diminishing gains and also dilution, because there's just so many tokens, right? So for the sake of the video, peak of altcoin season is projected based on my module here, Q4 2025. Altcoin peaks often lag behind Bitcoin's high by 6 to 9 months, right? So when Bitcoin sets that high, it usually takes another 6 months to see altcoins set their high. With the possible Bitcoin top in mid-2025, altcoins could reach peak valuations by year end Q4 2025. End of altcoin season profit taking, right? So again, you're going to ask yourself, are you going to take profits the first top or the second top? Optimal exit strategies indicate profit taken before a likely market cool off in 2026. So again, you're going to have all of this opportunity here to decide if you're going when you're going to take profits, right? You're going to take profits Q3, mid 2025 when you see Bitcoin do that first correction. You're like, oh shit, is it over with? Or are you going to, bank that there's going to be a double top and try to like maximize your gains by Q4 2025? So the thesis here is that we have another bullish Q4 in 2025. So but you're betting that, right? You're betting that because there has been times where December was bearish, right? You can see here, if we go here, December 2022 was extremely bearish, right? So will the bear market start Q4 2025 or will the bear market start Q1 2026? That's the decision you got to make. But to make that decision easier for me personally, I am using this logarithmic chart here, right? And I believe that every time that we touch the bubble lower bands, which the bubble lower bands is somewhere, let's go here, somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000, right? So somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000 is really like the magical number for me, right? Where I will say, hey, I'm taking everything off the table and moving it into stables or however I choose to kind of like do my exit strategy, right? You got to make sure that you are prepared. And this could happen anywhere between mid 2025 and Q4 2025, all the way into Q1 2026. So somewhere between Q3 2025 and Q1 2026, you need to be taking profits because I'm going to be taking profits. So, and let me say, I'm not going to say you need to be taking profits, right? I'm going to just say somewhere between Q3 2025 and Q1 2026, I am going to be taking profits off the table. If this stuff happens a little bit faster, depending on when we hit that bubble lower band, I will be taking profits. That's my exit strategy for this next phase, because this next phase could be very, very profitable and parabolic. But if you don't take the chance, right, you're going to miss that and you're going to round trip your bags. Also, in the midst of all of this happening, keep it simple. Please, if you do anything for yourself, man, just keep it simple. Stick to what you know. Don't try to get fancy. Don't try to do no extra shit. Stick to the conviction and what you know. If you got to pivot, you got to pivot. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But just keep it simple. Keep it simple. It really frustrates me when I hear people talk about, oh, I round trip my bags after a 10, 12x. Oh, I connected my wallet and I got drained. Yo, keep it simple. Keep it simple. You keep it simple, you make a lot of money this cycle. Don't do stupid shit, right? And don't depend on no YouTuber. Don't depend on nobody. Don't depend on no damn copy trading. Make your own decisions. Do your own fucking research. Do your own due diligence. Stop depending on other people to do the work for you. I don't depend on nobody. I do my own work. Stop doing that. I'm passionate because I want to see everybody win. And I've been winning. So please stop depending on other people and go out there and do your own research and do your own due diligence and make your own damn decisions, man. So that's my thesis. Back smiling. All right. That's my thesis. Summarize entry and exit strategy for altcoins in the upcoming cycle. We highlighted key points for investors, maximizing returns and mitigate your risk. Of course, not financial advice. Do your due diligence, right? But this is kind of like how I view the market. Like and subscribe if you got some alpha. If you didn't, leave a comment. But I'm gonna have to see y'all in the next one. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'm out.